Hey guys, it's Michelle. Sorry I look like crap. I'm supposed to be trying to dye my hair at some point today, um, but I kind of feel like crap too. Um, I wanted to make a vlog more so for myself, and maybe if somebody watches it and has had something similar happen to them, any feedback would be appreciated. But basically, what's been going on with me is, um, I went home to visit my family. I was supposed to go for 3 weeks. I ended up going for like a month and almost a week, a little over a month. So I got there. We like went on the cruise a few days later. Everything was fine, other than um, my mother is a hoarder, although she won't identify with that term. Um, Her father died like 10 years ago, and that's pretty much when it started. And everything had like some type of an emotional attachment, but it hadn't gotten to the point that it has now. That I guess um, my brother was in college at the time that I moved out, so I guess she had empty nest syndrome for a while, and my brother's now living back at the house, but um, it's gotten a lot worse. So, thinking that I was staying with my parents where I have my own bedroom, I didn't make any alternative plans to stay anywhere. I didn't rent a car or anything. So, basically, there was nowhere for me to stay because my old bedroom had a whole bunch of junk in it, including things that I had thrown out before I left that she went through and took out of the garbage and put back into my room because she didn't think there was anything wrong with them, or it was clothes that was too big on me that I wasn't going to wear anymore. Things like that that she just took upon herself to put back in the drawers and things like that. So, and then just things that have accumulated around the house. For instance, my brother keeps his room fairly clean because nobody's allowed in it, and um, so things that were in his room that he didn't want in his room ended up tossed in my room and whatever. So I wasn't able to stay at my parents' house. So my plans of being able to use, because I have like a gym quality elliptical machine, I have a total gym, I have a whole bunch of stuff at my mom's house that I plan on taking whenever Mike and I either get an apartment big enough or maybe buy a house one day. But it wasn't usable when I was there. I mean, nothing isn't any like she doesn't keep like broken things. It's just things that there's nothing wrong with them. Like she can't throw out, um, and also like food. Um, she will let things rot in the fridge before she throws them out, and even then, sometimes she's not ready to throw them out. So I wasn't really able to go grocery shopping like I had planned and buy myself healthy alternatives. So, and plus they don't really cook. Um, so they go out to eat for every meal practically. So while I was there, I ended up, thankfully, one of my best friends back home, she has a 2 bedroom because she has a daughter, but her daughter is not even a year old yet. So the baby stays in her room still in the crib. So I stayed in her daughter's room, where she had like an extra full size bed, for when like her sister comes and visits or whatever. So I was able to stay there during my like month and a half visit home. So I stayed at my friend's house for the first few days. We went on the cruise. I was fine. Everything was okay for the most part. I made a friend, we partied, hung out, I worked out, made pretty decent food choices because, I mean, the cruise, you have like everything under the sun to eat, and they have a full gym. So we were going swimming, we were tanning, we were hanging out. I had a blast. Um, when I got home, between like having to stay in my mom's house most days to spend time with her because apparently I didn't spend enough time with her on the cruise because I was having too much fun. And her and I, we don't, like, me and my dad get along really well, and my brother and my mom get along really well. And me and my mom clash completely. Like, we're always butting heads. We're always fighting. She's an instigator. I really think she enjoys arguing and screaming at people. And so and she's not one of those people that, like, she'll instigate until she gets a reaction. So as much as I tried to ignore her or not feed into her, like, eventually I would break and we would end up in a screaming match at least once a day. So, I guess it was all just more stress than what I was used to. And so I was having anxiety attacks almost every single day while I was there. I had anxiety attacks a few times in the past, nothing too severe, pretty similar to what I started having there at first, and they started getting worse and worse and worse, and I was having them like every day. One of my good friends back home like divulged that there was a possible opening at her job, and since Mike and I are moving back to the East Coast at the end of the year at some point in December, I thought that it was a good idea. So I interviewed. I ended up staying an extra week. Interviewed. Didn't end up getting the job because it was just everything was too rushed. And basically they had to create a position for me. And I had like 3 days for them to like make a decision, create a position, offer me a job. Like, it was just way too much, way too quickly. So it didn't end up happening. It fell through. And then I ended up coming home. Well, I got home Wednesday. My husband's birthday was Thursday. He took off Thursday, Friday from work, and then he's off on weekends, so I was with him for 4 days. I had a few minor anxiety attacks that weekend, nothing too crazy, and I thought that it was going to get better. Sunday night, I ended up in the emergency room because I had a severe panic attack and thought I was having a heart attack and that I was dying because the thought of being left alone all day long once I got home, and God forbid having a really bad anxiety attack or having a heart attack, because at this point that's what I think, that I'm on the verge of a heart attack at all times of the day. So I think that's what caused the severe panic attack, was the thought of being left alone, and God forbid something happened to me, I'd be here all by myself. There would be nobody to call 911 or, save me. So Sunday night we ended up in the emergency room. They did blood work, EKG, chest x-ray. Everything came back normal. I have a healthy heart from what they told me. So Monday I called the doctor, let him know that, hey, I was in the emergency room, this would happen. Wednesday I went to see my doctor, and he told me that I had 2 options: either go to a psychologist or be put on medication. So at the time, I had a minor panic attack / severe anxiety attack in his waiting room. And so I was like in tears. I broke down. I was like, I feel like I'm dying all the time. Like, I'm constantly checking my heart rate. If it's elevated more than resting, it freaks me out. Like, I used to work out. I can't work out anymore. Like, even household chores, like, I cook every single day, and I have to like take breaks because if my heart rate hits like 100, I think that I'm dying. So like, I'm constantly checking my heart rate on a stopwatch, and like, it's just gotten like crazy, and I feel irrational. I feel like I'm insane because the doctor just ran a whole bunch of tests on my heart and they told me that I'm healthy, but I get this like shortness of breath, and I get tension in my chest and in my left arm, and I get chest pains, and I think that I'm dying, even though like there's no reason for me to actually be dying. So he put me on antidepressants. I agreed to taking medication when I was there. Came home, did research, found out I was an antidepressant. I was like, no. So I haven't taken them, but I did want something that would help me. So I started doing some research, and I found at the health food store here, the company is Boiron, and it's Ignatia Amara. It's for, I think it's for anxiety from everyday stress. So I started taking that, and yesterday I was able to cook dinner and not feel like the tension in my chest and arm or the shortness of breath. So I think it did help. So I'm going to continue taking that. On the bottle, it says to take for 3 days or until you basically go back to normal. And then if not, to consult a physician. I've already consulted my physician who put me on antidepressants, and I don't want to be a zombie. So I'm going to try to do further research and see if I can use it for prolonged periods of time and maybe hopefully find like a holistic doctor or something to help me. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to be on an antidepressant. So I'm still having daily anxiety attacks. Like I said, mostly when I'm physically more active than laying on the couch and having a resting heart rate. So needless to say, I have not been working out because that really elevates my heart rate, and then I really think that I'm dying. And yeah, so that's what's been going on with me. Not so good. So my weight loss and working out have kind of been put on the back burner until I feel normal and like I'm not on the verge of having a heart attack 24/7. So I don't know if anybody else has had anything similar, just being kind of thrown into a really high stress environment and suffering the consequences by having anxiety attacks continuously from then on. I hope that it gets better because, like I said, I want to be back to normal. Like I'm not this tense and wound up and stressed out and anxious, and like this is not what I'm used to, and I don't like it at all. So if anybody else has had anything similar, any feedback would be great. I just kind of wanted to make a video log of what I was going through, what's going on with me, and like I said, get any feedback from anybody that might have had a similar experience with anxiety attacks and such. So I hope everybody else is doing well. Thankfully, my weight has not fluctuated. I don't know if I said this already, but when I left, I was at 248, and since I've been back, it's gone as low as 243, but it stays within like 2 pounds of my highest weight. Like this morning, it was 246. Yesterday, it was 244. And then it was up to 246, and then tomorrow it'll probably be either up or down. But like I said, since I've been home for like about a week now, actually, I think today is, I don't know, 2 weeks that I've been home now, it hasn't gone up. So, anyway, I will do an update if I get better, if I can start working out again and eating healthy again. And I'll let everybody, well, I mean, I'm not eating unhealthy, but like I said, I'm not really preoccupied with, like, counting my calories and stuff. I've just been trying not to have anxiety attacks and feel like I'm dying. So, yeah, I hope everybody else is doing well, and I'll talk to you all later. Thanks, bye.